Hey, what's going on, people? My name is Terrell Andretti, and I'm the Narc's Nemesis. For those of y'all watching me on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That helps YouTube's algorithm pick up this content and push it out to more people that need it. Somebody liked it for you, so make sure you like it for somebody. If you need a one-on-one phone session, the link is down below in the video description. If you need to talk, if you need to vent, if you need advice custom-made and tailor-fitted to your situation, make sure y'all book a session. I do all cities, states, time zones, and countries, so make sure that doesn't deter you from booking a session. If you do not see a desired date or time on the website, make sure y'all send me an email, which is also in the video description, because I do weekend and evening sessions. They're just upon request. Also, y'all make sure y'all go check out my performance video available here on the channel for my song Regret Radio. It is about my narcissistic experience, and it is off my pop project Supernova, which is about my narcissistic experience in its entirety. So y'all make sure y'all go give that a review. Let me know what y'all think, and let me know if y'all relate. It is available on all streaming platforms, wherever your favorite artists are available. So make sure y'all tap into that for me. Today I want to talk about, don't expect the next narcissist to act like the last narcissist. And what I mean by that is, maybe you've got discarded, maybe maybe you did the discard or whatever the case is, and you might be dating somebody else. A lot of people get confused, like, okay, is this person a narcissist, or are they toxic? Are they, because they're not doing the same things my ex was, but they're still questionable things. And I always tell people, different narcs do different things. I was talking to a client of mine the other day, and she was saying, this new person that she's talking to that she thinks is a narcissist, they have a good heart because, they're buying things, they're paying for things, they're taking out on dates, they're doing this, they're doing that. They're very generous financially. And she says her ex was not. And I told her the reason being is because her ex didn't have any money. Now, a narc with money is pretty dangerous because they will come off as generous. So it's kind of hard to detect their narcissism because narcissists with money hide behind their money. So they will give you money. They will buy you stuff. They will take you out on trips. They'll pay rent. They'll do all that sugar daddy or sugar mama shit that you want. They'll do all of that. They will romance the shit out of you because they have the money to. But you have to understand, they use that for bait. They use that to collect supply. They use that to bait and switch because it is a resource that they have. See, a lot of people think or are under the assumption that all narcissists are broke and lazy. They aren't. Now, they're lazy, but a lot of them have found shortcuts, to get, to somewhere, or some money, some education, or whatever, to put themselves in a higher tax bracket. But I guarantee you they stepped on some people along the way to get there. So every narcissist is not broke and lazy and, hooked on drugs and all of that shit. They aren't. They have different levels of narcissism. There are narcissists with money out there. That's why a lot of people get them confused and they don't see them because, and this is why I say, and I'm not saying this client was, but I'm saying period, because I especially see it in the culture amongst the women. Oh, well, you got to pay my bills, you got to do this, you got to do that. And that leads y'all asses right into fucking narcissism because y'all aren't any deeper than getting your bills paid. Y'all aren't any deeper than being supported financially. Now, I'm not saying men don't do this, they do this too, but if you a real woman, this is prevalent in the female community. They want their bills paid, hair done. He can't talk to me if I tell him I'm going to get my hair done and he don't offer to pay it. Yeah, that's cool. But the thing is, you walking yourself right into traps because, again, you're not deeper than his pockets. You're not any deeper than the last receipt you have. You're not any deeper than the last bill that you have. So this runs y'all right into fucking narcissists, because you have become materialistic. And I'm telling you, if you have not ran into one of these narcissists with money and you have this type of mentality, your ass is in trouble. And you're gonna be sitting around, woe is me and all of that shit. And a lot of times nobody deserves to be treated poorly. Nobody deserves to be treated, abused or anything like that. But a lot of times, because a lot of people are materialistic, and I'm speaking both men and women, but like I said, predominantly women, because it's prevalent in this social media modern era that, oh well, if he not buying this or paying for this, I can't deal with him. And that's cool, but you opening yourself up to a bigger line of prey. You know what I mean? Or predator, excuse me. So if you run into one of these narcissists with money and they're able to buy your attention, they're able to buy your affection, they're able to buy your love, your body, you are in trouble. Because it's not hard for them to pull out a couple hundred or a couple thousand or tens of thousands if they need to, just to get you baited and hooked in. And a lot of times, if you're no deeper than resources, it's going to be hard for you to walk away. And I see a lot of people get mistreated because the financial gain from the situation is worth more to them than their self-esteem, than their character, than their body. So I always tell people, every narcissist is not the same. They got some narcissists with some big time money out there, but you also gonna pay big time, because they're going to bait you in. They're going to use it to bait you in. And a lot of y'all, like I said, if you can't escape the financial facade, your ass is in trouble. Now again, I'm not speaking on this client because it doesn't seem like she was like that, but I just had to speak to that, because there's a lot of gold digging culture out there. So by all means, get your money and all that shit there, but at the same time, if that's what you led by, don't complain about the destination. But anyway, all narcs are not the same. They got some narcs out here with some money, and they are playing big manipulation money games, and people are falling right into it because they are led blindly by their wants and desires. And also it's because a lot of them don't have any substance themselves. If you don't have any substance, you'll be led by anything. That's why I always tell people, relationships are worth more than money, because if you meet the right people, they'll lead you to the money that you desire. But if you fucking over people, and if you living your life based on money and all of that shit and not fulfillment and purpose, you're gonna lead yourself right into a fucked up situation. And people do it every day. And some people are afraid to even admit that they're led by this. But you have to be careful, because the narcissist that 9 times, because I always tell people, you always encounter another one after you deal with the major one. And it might be for a brief period. It might be y'all go out on a couple dates and you just notice, they're a little narcissistic. Or even they might not even get to display their full characteristics. You just might not like them because they're not your type or whatever. And something small happens to where y'all don't agree, or end up together, or whatever the case is. But 9 times out of 10, there's always another one behind the major one, because it's the universe testing you to see if you've actually learned your lesson. And a lot of people get stuck because the signs don't exactly look the same, and or they haven't healed yet. I try to tell y'all too, make sure you're single and healing. I say that with emphasis. Make sure you're single and healing for at least 6 months before you call yourself going to date again. Because there's a lot of stuff that you have not unlearned with that narcissist. There's a lot of behavior. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of abandonment issues that y'all have not healed yet. And then if you have abandonment issues, you will cling to anything and anybody, no matter what's attached to them. So I tell people, stop jumping from relationship to relationship, stop jumping from person to person, actually sit down and heal. Because a lot of times when you don't heal, when you don't take that time, when you don't get that space, when you don't learn that lesson, when you think you're more healed than you actually are, you start to become the problem. And I'm not saying that, people still aren't narcissistic and shouldn't be held accountable for their behavior. But a lot of times when you meet non-narcissistic people, you become the narcissistic person in a relationship because of the traits that you picked up from the last person that you have not yet got rid of. A lot of people misunderstand narcissistic fleas, and you can carry those for years after you have dealt with this individual. That's why I say it's important to sit your ass down and heal. You ain't got to be in somebody's face all the time. Sit down and heal and take it easy. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you need a one-on-one phone session, the link is down below in the video description. If you need to talk, if you need to vent, if you need advice custom made and tailor fitted to your situation, make sure y'all book a session. I do all cities, states, time zones, and countries. I can't remember if I said that already, so I'm gonna say it again. If you do not see a desired time or date on the website, make sure y'all send me an email. Because I do weekend and evening sessions, but they are upon request. So make sure y'all tap in with me if you need a session. I do have merch in the video description, so the store is active. Y'all make sure y'all tap into that. If y'all want some Terrell Andretti merch, it is available. A lot of it is illustrated by my music and everything like that, so make sure y'all check that out. And until next time, man, another day, another way. And you ain't gotta listen, but I know you heard me.